high fuel prices and the high cost of living, as we've just been speaking about, is suffocating workers. That's the views shared by the Congress of South African Trade Unions. The Federation marched in KwaZulu-Natal today, calling for government intervention. The union says workers are most affected as wages have not been increased despite the high cost of living.
Cosatu in KwaZulu-Natal took to the streets in protest against the high cost of living in the country. The march started at Fontaine with a motorcade. Union members joined in, calling for the government to act. The Durban CBD came to a standstill. The Federation says the high cost of living has been brought on by the high fuel prices. Cosatu's General Secretary, Begin Njali, says they want the fuel levy slashed.
The high prices that we have seen, particularly on food, suggest to us without actual information, without facts, whether it has been increased to the same level of the petrol price. In other words, are they not sucking? Are they not putting higher than the impact of the petrol price? We think they can make a random samples and be able to determine that and be able to say that's those who are doing it, because we strongly believe there are people who are taking chances on this.
The Provincial Secretary, Edwin Mkhize, says workers are mostly affected by these high prices and says there's also problems with the high rates of unemployment and poverty, which the government is not addressing.
We are going to suffocate, we are going to face serious levels of poverty. So that's why, as Cosatu said, no, we need to come out and raise these issues sharply to say you need to address the other side as well. You must create jobs. You need to make sure that the national minimum wage that is not implemented, some of the employers, is being implemented for all workers. We need to make sure that as workers are negotiating this year in the public sector and even the private sector, they are given a reasonable rise in salaries.
Nursing Union Denosa says they are particularly worried about wages and the shortage of staff.
As it is in this province, we've got about 3,000, more than 3,000 vacant posts of nurses that are not filled. And also we've got 84 ComServe nurses that were trained by the department. How can you train people and then at the end of the day you are saying you don't have money? That means there was poor planning. And yet there are shortages of staff.
The march ended at the Marine Building in Durban, the offices of the Premier, where the union handed in a memorandum. Transport MEC Peggy Nkonyeni accepted it on behalf of the government in KwaZulu-Natal. Letiwe Mdluli, Durban.